Hey there. We're getting there. Just about done. Two more. Two more videos in this series. Woohoo! Okay, but I have to make up right now. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk more about mortgages. Let's see which one we're doing today. Here we go. F43. Okay, so this is pretty realistic about what a mortgage is going to be like. Um, I think even if you were buying, in the previous example, Billy Bob buying his bass boat, I suspect he'd have to have some kind of a down payment. It's very rare that you don't have to do a down payment for anything. And most of the time, people want to do a down payment because it reduces the total amount of your mortgage over time, which should reduce your payment. So the bigger you can put it down, the better. Um, in Saskatchewan, first-time home buyers, this is where I wish I could yell at Mark out in the hallway, but he's not here. I can't remember whether you had to put, there used to be a program where you only had to put 5% or 10% down on your house. Okay. And that's what a lot of people do if they want to eventually buy houses. You buy a little starter house. You buy a little house in a little town. You buy a little house in a kind of questionable area. You fix it up, you sell it, and then you use the money from that to buy the next one and to move up like that. I can happily brag. My very first house was exactly $11,000. Yeah, that was the total amount for the house. And it was in Yorkton. It was also the worst looking house on the block. And I discovered after we moved in that the local drug house was next door. But I sold it, I got some money from it, and I was able to put it towards a down payment on my next house. Just saying. It was on Laurier in Yorkton, in case you've ever been to Yorkton and you know what house I'm talking about. Okay, Bella wants to buy a house for $435,000. The bank agrees to finance the purchase at 7.5% per year, compounded monthly, if she can make a 20% down payment. Okay, so watch your questions. There's going to be an extra part here where we talk about a down payment. So to do a down payment, you go 20. Okay, my brain just wants to do this because that's what I always do when I do percents. Or I could have wrote it horizontally. Anyway, either way, 435,000. Okay. So 20 divided by 100 times 435,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay. See, that's the problem. If you want to do a 20% down payment on something, you have to come up with $87,000. And that's not something that's that easy to come up with just randomly. Nick Fire, my son lives out in Vancouver and he's looking, a 2-bedroom condo kind of starts at like $700,000. It's scary. So that's why you do the starter home or some kind of investment. Anywho, let's get back to the question. So I'm going to write down payment here so we don't forget. So what that means is you have to come up for that money cash or however to the bank, and then they'll do the rest of it. So then what happens is you take the 435 minus your down payment. Whoops, that didn't work. 435,000 minus 87,000. All right. So this is mortgage. So it's cheaper. Oopsies, sorry. That's what the down payment does. I think it also probably tells the bank you're serious. I don't know. Anyway, now we need to do our monthly payments. So pardon me while I look for my sheet. There it is. Formula. R is equal to the amount of my loan times the interest. And I know I accidentally put extra brackets on there, on the P. It's okay. Whoops. Divided by 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus n. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why. It just seems so simple. So P R I N, the amount. Now, careful. This is now the amount of my mortgage. This is the amount of my loan. Not this anymore. It's this one. 348,000. My R is Dano. My interest is 7.5 divided by 100 divided by 12. That should be 12. 0.00625. And my N, I think I remember this question. Yes. My answer key says on it, I forgot to write 20-year mortgage. That's not something you can randomly make up. That's me screwing up the question. So we got 20 years. Can't spell years. Times 12, 240. Okay. That's a luck. Should have written this farther over, but that's okay. R is equal to 348,000 times my interest, which is 0.00625 divided by 1 minus. Is it always 1 minus 1? Yes, it's always 1 minus, my people. 1 plus 0.00625 to the minus 240. Ah, it's not any better if you see the whole page. Come on, everybody goes. There. That's just minus 240 over there. And do I need another bracket? Yeah, I need another bracket. Okay. R is equal to, here we go, 348,000 bracket 0.0625. Close my bracket. Excuse me. Divide by bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.000. Now 625. Close my bracket. Now I need an exponent, and I need it to be 240, and it's that. Don't ever use the negative, the subtract button there. Then I close my bracket and I go, ta-da! And then I look at my answer key. I go, ta-da! And it's right. 2803.46. Is 2803.46. So that is what her monthly mortgage payments are going to be if it's on a 20-year mortgage. 20-year mortgage is common, 25, maybe even up to 30. Usually you don't go much higher than that in Canada. Okay. How much interest did she pay on the loan? Well, just do my work up here. Times, so she paid 2803.46 and she made 240 payments. Six, 7, 2, 8, 3, 0.40. That's what she paid. And the actual mortgage minus 348,000. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about, the question says about the loan, so I'm just completely ignoring the down payment. If you learn in business, that's not how that works. Let me know, and I will change my teaching strategies. But for now, I think that's what we need. 348, 1, 2, 3. All right, so 324, $324,830.40 interest. So almost as much in interest as she actually paid for the house. Show your calculations are reasonable. Well, right here, okay, so this is reasonable because that's what I paid. It should always be more than the loan. And if you want to do it the other way, you can take the amount of the loan, 348,000, and divide it by 240, right? The number of payments. 348 divided by 240. Okay, so if no interest. So she's actually paying, move it down so you can see, $2,800 a month. If there was absolutely no interest, it would only be $1,450. So this always has to be smaller than what the actual loan payment is to cover off the interest that the bank wants from you. Hey, we did it again. We did another video. Good job.